Peace. Islam. This is my great grandmother, yo. So, her name is Normally, and she lived till she was 104 years old. So, she got eyes on my 6 right now, you feel me? So she's watching everything that I can't see. So, this is my protective sigil right now. So, the basic point of this video today is, what's in your family tree? You know, a lot of people want to talk about what's in your wallet, or what's in your bank account, or what's in your house. What type of things do you have? But nobody really bothers to find out what's in your family tree. Now I know what you're thinking. How the hell could she be my great grandmother? Looking the way I look. It's very simple. Slave masters. So obviously, at some point in time, within the history of my great-grandmother, on my mother's side, that our foremothers and forefathers were raped by slave masters. They came, they raped our women. What a lot of people don't know is they also raped our men. The same way they had farms for molesting girls, they had farms for molesting our boys. And it kind of makes sense when you see how the society's been changed or converted or taken out of our natural cycle. So, I'm doing this video in tribute to my grandma, my great-grandma, because I didn't know this before I got here. And I just have to say, if your parents are still alive, your mother and your father, your aunts or whatever, ask the questions. Learn about yourself. Know thyself. How you gonna know thyself if you don't know where you come from? This is where I come from. This is where I come from. I'm very proud of it too. You see what I'm saying? But it's empowering for me to know. Because now you can't tell me something that I don't know about myself. And yeah, I obviously knew that there was European in my family bloodline. I mean, let's be honest here. Jules, Julius Caesar. Obviously, it's not the name for an African person. Jules, that's a European name. So off of that alone, I could already tell you there was some slave mastery type of shit in my family line. So I don't know what my original name is. That's why I decided to reclaim myself. That's why I decided to put 360 days of my experience and focus on one point. One point. It's a point I feel people overlook a lot. And that one point is simply birthright. Like, what is your birthright worth to you? Because I can't show you birthright. I can't live your birthright for you. Everyone's birthright is like their own individual signature or imprint on existence here. So if you don't know about your birthright or how to exercise or enforce your birthright, you're at a big disadvantage. You're gonna experience a lot of hell if you're not experiencing it already. Bills, mortgage, suits, debt collectors, IRS, taxes. There's a whole bunch of fucking problems in society, and it's based off of just one thing: contracts. You see, that's kind of why they stopped reading, during those time periods when we weren't allowed to read. Okay? When they spotted an African reading, they killed that nigga on spot. No hesitation. You know why? Because them niggas who read are dangerous. It's bad enough we already got the melanin, so we can tap into certain levels of consciousness a lot easier than other people can. And I'm not apologetic for that. I'm not gonna be apologetic for my melanin. I'm very grateful for my melanin. I am that I am. So I can skip levels. It's just a question of my focus. And that's the thing about me. I can focus. I can focus the shit on something. Like, for example, during my heavy clubbing days, I had no problem at all falling asleep in the club. Now I know what you're thinking. What the fuck do you mean fall asleep at the club? I'm talking about music bumping, bass bumping, niggas is turning up, and I'm on a couch somewhere knocked out. I don't got no earbuds in, no headphones in. I just zone the sound out. You know why? Because in my mind, I want to rest. So it don't matter where I'm at. I will create my moment of rest. Because my moment of rest exists or is created within me first. Before you see the outer reflection or the outer manifestation, which would be me looking like this on a couch. At the time I was sleeping, at the time I was sleeping and snoring, I don't snore anymore. You know what I'm saying? Vegan life. So that's just what it is. If you want to really tap into knowing yourself and understanding your power, you gotta know where you come from. Yeah. Oh, yeah, bro? Let's go. Something? No, I'm recording. Let's go. I'll video edit. Yeah. You gotta tap into yourself so you can exercise your birthright. You have to. You have to. So people need to understand the power of what self-identification is. These are basic human rights. I'm not even talking about constitution, state laws, codes and statutes, which have nothing to do with law. Those all are corporate codes and laws and acts. Why? Because a lot of people are pretenders in the society and they act like something they're not. So when Congress or the Congress Corporation, right, attempts to pass an act, it is what they call it. First was the Word was God, and the Word was with God, but first was the Word. So what does that tell you? Words, language. First was the Word. Now it doesn't necessarily mean a word that I'm blabbing. When it says word, I know I can tap into a deeper understanding and know that what it's referencing to is a vibration. A boom. You know what I'm saying? That's the word. Boom. Action. That's what the word is. We are literally the Word clothed in flesh. Boom. Once you understand words and what they mean and what they don't mean, it'll be a lot easier for you to operate in contracts or covenants, since we're going to talk about the Bible. Because the Bible talks about nothing but covenants all day. Covenant, covenant, covenant. If you didn't know, a covenant's a contract. So when you read the Bible, you should take the principles from the Bible and apply it to your daily life. Why? Because we're living in a system where the actors pretending to be government govern our minds and our state of being when we should be in control of that. Right? There's no way that I can forge my own destiny if I don't even own the shoes that I'm walking. You see what I'm saying? So our whole mentality gotta change. And that goes from, like I said before, self-identification. That's where it really starts. Because self-identification is a form of self-determination. You determine how you want to be perceived in society. That's up to you. If you want to be perceived as a rapist or someone who doesn't do shit or someone who's on a corner or someone who's doing negative things, someone who rob people, you pick what role you want to act out, what persona you want to be in society. You determine that. Now, with whatever choice you decide or decision you decide that you want to be in terms of to society, it comes with certain responsibilities. And those responsibilities, if not applied properly, come with consequences. Good and bad. Because the consequence is a consequence. Good and bad. Okay? Self-identification. When you're rolling up and you're showing people your state ID or your driver's license, and you're using that to express to society or the people of the community that that's your identification, you done fucked up. You done fucked up. Because you don't understand anything about law. You thought you did, but you're about to get a serious reality check right now. Okay, so we're back to self-identification. Now, you've been keeping up with me in my YouTube channel from day one. in the beginning I made videos where I first showed kind of the difference between a state ID and a national ID. You know what I'm saying? In propria persona and out of, and not in propria persona. Alright? So it's been a few years and I've made another change to myself. I am Kwame Resu L. And that's who I am authentic. You know why? Because that's me on the inside. My last name ain't Jules. Could never be Jules. And it was never Jules. I'm one of the some people. It's a scary time. It's a very, very scary time for dishonest people. Very scary time for crooks. Because the people who were once dumb and ignorant are no longer that. They're actually quite intelligent. 9 times out of 10, they're more intelligent than the people than the people who spent 10, 15 years in school studying the same things. Why? Because when you're in school, you're literally in line. All right, you're being indoctrinated in a specific way. Everybody. So literally, you're being processed and packaged like meat in a factory before you get put out on the shelf. So before you come out of law school talking about you an attorney or a lawyer, they make sure they make sure they grow you, they feed you what they want to feed you, right? Mentally. They feed you those thoughts, they feed you that perspective, they feed you what society is like. And I'm pretty sure a lot of lawyers or attorneys, I can't call them lawyers because they all have attorney's license, which is a license permission. This is why I'm very much so against licenses, because in all actuality, when you have a license, you're literally asking for permission. Driver's license, marriage license, bar license, liquor license, fishing license, and it can go on and on and on. But at the end of the day, license means permission. So whenever I hear license, I automatically think of subjugation. Whoa, I need permission? Why? Why would God need permission? Did God need to ask permission to create life? Was there an entity that needed to be asked if it was cool? Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But the one thing I know for sure is this is where our heaven and our hell is. Now, if we choose to ignore this and this, we will most definitely be in hell. Most definitely be in hell. And hell is not hot. Hell is cold. Alright? Hell is very cold. And people don't even understand the aspects of real duality when it even comes to that. Like this shit, there's so many levels to this shit. For instance, I'll take the hot and cold. People think hot and cold are two separate things when they're actually one. You see, because the universe is based on a scale. It's not a 1 or 2. The universe is a scale. It's a reference point. So now, you're looking at a scale. The top of the scale says hot, the bottom of the scale says cold. Now, let's say the properties on the scale shift. Boom, let's drop down to cold. Is it still on the same scale? Yes, it is. Therefore, whether it's hot or cold, it's really the same shit. Because, think about it. Go outside butt-ass naked. Walk barefoot in the snow or ice, and then put your hand on that shit, or put your feet on that. Or just go outside and just stand. Just stand in front of the house butt naked for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And tell me if after 30 seconds or so, if your skin isn't going to feel so cold that it feels like it's burning. So wait, you're telling me if it gets too hot, it burns? And if it gets too cold, it burns? Yeah, because the scale still is the same. As above, so below. But like I said, there's levels to this shit. And a part of those levels is self-determination, self-identification. What type of persona do you want to portray to the community? What type of relationship do you want the community to have with you, or you have with them? What do you want them to see you as? What's gonna make you? And what people don't understand is when it comes to names and you naming things, all right? It's like when you name something, it's like you put a magnetic field or a shield or a protection around that entity. So now that entity's soul is now enclosed. It's now enclosed within that energy or that vibration that is represented by that name or that word, because first was the word. Now, with that, see what I'm saying? So those names have energies. Now, if you didn't give yourself a name, then it won't have as much potent energy. Why? Because when you name something, you give it a meaning, you give it a why, you give it power. Now, what will happen for someone who decides to, you know what? I want to claim myself, and I want to be myself, and I want to create my name. You don't gotta go to City Hall. That's a scam. City Hall's a corporation. License, number, permission. Now, if you're a god walking on earth in the form of a man, right? You don't need permission. You just need to put your will down, and so you speak it, so it is. Okay? So I didn't go to City Hall to change my name or change my status. Once I came to the realization of who I am, my status changed here, and then it changed here, right? Because now my magnetic field is on a completely different ball game, man. I feel it. Like, you can't phase me. You can't touch me. No matter how you come at me, you will fail. I will not be moved. And if you continue to stay in my way long enough, I will squash your ass. Not out of hate, but out of love. Why? Because I will give you every chance in the world to repent and turn from that foolish sin. Because ignorance of the law is no excuse. So if you come at me ignorant, there is no excuse. I'm going to burn your ass. Straight up and down. Because I don't care. I know who I am. I know where I'm at. I am home. You ain't gonna tell me nothing different. And that's how I treat niggas everywhere. Cops, I don't know you, but this is my land. So do whatever you want. Write me a ticket. Do this, do that. Give me a warning. I don't give a fuck. I will deal with you at the board meeting. And when I say board meeting, I mean the courtroom. Because I'm a fucking boss. So as an alchemist, I create my own realities. So when they think that they're inviting me to court, I'm really inviting them to a board meeting. And then they get shocked as fuck when I show up. Because I make sure all my T's are dotted. All my T's are crossed and all my I's are dotted. But they don't expect that from black nigga. It's okay. I know that's what they think in the back of their mind. Look at this nigga. An intelligent nigga. Because he know a couple of big words. You think he's somebody. Look at this house nigga. The real house niggas are the ones who know this shit and don't say shit. That's a bitch. Straight up and down. If you know this information and you ain't trying to share it with people to help better themselves, but you want to use it to take advantage of them, you is a bitch. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You're a bitch. And you don't deserve that power. But it's okay. It's not for me to judge. See, I got my own path and journey to walk. So I can't worry about people who want to abuse the power. Nature will take care of it. Nature will take care of that for me. Because once I begin to align myself, there's nothing for me to do. I don't need to fight. I don't need to block. I just need to be. So I ask, who are you? Are you indigenous? Were you born here? Are you a corporate fiction or do you exist? Are you truth or are you a lie?